I told her you're so beautiful, but I didn't expect her to slap me. Beginning. The encounter on Epsilon 9. The first time I saw her, she wasn't supposed to exist. I was standing on the rust-red plains of Epsilon 9, a distant colony world orbiting a dying sun. The wind carried whispers of ion dust, and the sky burned orange. My job as a terraforming engineer didn't involve much excitement. Just machines, soil analyzers, and the hum of drones. But that day, the monitor screamed an anomaly. Organic movement in Zone 4. Epsilon 9 was barren. No native life had been detected since the colonization began 5 years ago. So, when the scanner showed a moving figure, I grabbed my oxygen mask blaster and went out to investigate. Through the fog, she appeared. A woman. At least, she looked human. Her skin shimmered faintly, like starlight caught in liquid glass. Her hair flowed like strands of silver, reflecting the weak sunlight. Her eyes glowed faint blue, brighter than any humans could. I froze. She was beautiful, terrifyingly beautiful. Hey! I called out, voice trembling to the comm link. Are you real? She tilted her head slightly, studying me with curiosity more than fear. When she spoke, her voice was like sound. It was a vibration in the air, harmonic and clear. You are the intruder, she said. You walk on sacred ground. I'm not here to intrude, I stammered. This is a terraforming site. I thought this planet was empty. She frowned. Empty? That's what you call what you cannot see. She turned to walk away. My heart raced. Something about her presence felt ancient, wrong, like the planet itself breathed through her. Wait, I said, stepping forward. Who are you? She didn't answer. She started to fade, her form flickering like a hologram, desperate to keep her from disappearing. I blurted out the first words that came to my mind. You're so beautiful. And that's when she slapped me. The strike wasn't hard, but it wasn't human either. My helmet sensors flared. Electrical energy surged through my visor. The world spun, and I fell back onto the red sand, ears ringing. Her expression turned sharp, almost pained. Do not use that word, she said. Not for me. Then she was gone, dissolving into light and dust, leaving only static in my comms. I lay there, staring up at the orange sky, my cheeks still tingling from her touch. What had I just seen? And why did I feel like I just insulted a goddess? Middle, the forbidden truth. I couldn't stop thinking about her. The next few days, I dug into every database available. Geological logs, old survey reports, ancient transmissions from first probes. Nothing. No record of any life form resembling her. But there was something else. Buried deep in an old research folder, I found encrypted files marked Project Vela. The logs were decades old, older than the current colony. The first entry read, Subject V01 successfully merged with Epsilon 9 biosphere. Organic consciousness synchronized with planetary network. Results, unstable but promising. Merged with the biosphere, a human consciousness fused with the planet itself. The rest of the files were corrupted. But I didn't need more to guess what had happened. The woman I met wasn't an alien. She was a planet. Or, rather, the mind that once ruled it. Still, that didn't explain why she reacted so violently to me calling her beautiful. The next week, I went back to Zone 4. I didn't tell my supervisors. I just packed a drone camera, a translator AI, and some water, and hiked across the dunes. The air shimmered with static again, the same energy I'd felt when she appeared. And then she was there. She stepped out of the wind, her form clearer this time, her expression wary but less hostile. You returned, she said, her voice echoing inside my skull. I had to, I said. I didn't mean to offend you before. You spoke a word that carries poison, she replied. Beautiful? That's poison. She looked up at the sky. Beauty is the name your kind gave destruction. You see something and wish to possess it. You called this planet beautiful once. Now you burn it, reshape it, make it breathe your air. Her words stung. We're not trying to destroy it. We're trying to make it livable. For who? She asked quietly. For me or for you? I didn't know how to answer. Her gaze softened slightly. You are not like the others. You come with questions instead of drills. I swallowed. Who are you? She hesitated. My name was Lyra. Once I was human. I volunteered for Vela, to merge the planet, to guide its evolution. But I became something else. I became everything. And when the stars forgot me, I slept. Her voice cracked faintly, as if pain had weight even after centuries. I whispered, So, you're the guardian of this world. I was, she said, until your machines began to tear it apart. I woke when the sky changed color, when the soil screamed. I wanted to say I was sorry, but what good were words to being like her? Instead, I said, if you could stop us, why didn't you? She turned away, because I still remember what it means to be human, and I can't bring myself to destroy you. Her form shimmered again, unstable. I realized her energy was fading. The planet's core was too weak to sustain her. Lyra, I said, stepping closer, maybe I can help. Her eyes flashed. Help? You? You cannot even hear the planet cry. Then teach me how, I said. She stared at me for a long moment, then reached out her hand. When her fingers touched my chest, I felt everything. Heat, wind, gravity, sorrow. My mind flooded with visions. Oceans that had once glistened on Epsilon 9 surface, forests of crystalline trees, cities made of light. I saw them all crumble into dust as the first colonists arrived. When she let go, I fell to my knees, gasping. Now you know, she whispered. That is what beauty costs. The revelation. I couldn't go back to work after that. Every machine I touched felt like a weapon. I saw the planet differently now, not as a dead rock, but as something alive, breathing, grieving. Lyra began to appear more often after that. Sometimes just as a flicker in the corner of my visor. Other times, she spoke directly through the radio waves. She was learning to trust me. I told her about Earth, about music, laughter, the sound of rain. She listened like someone remembering a forgotten dream. One night, I stood on the cliffs overlooking the colony dome. The light shimmered below, artificial and cold. She appeared beside me, her translucent form illuminated by the dying sun. I don't understand humans, she said softly. You destroy what you love most. Not all of us, I said. Some of us just forget what love means. She looked at me. And what does it mean to you? I hesitated and said, it means wanting to protect something, even if it never belongs to you. Her eyes softened. You speak like the old poets. Maybe I'm just desperate, I said, smiling weakly. For the first time, she smiled too. It was faint, almost imperceptible, but it changed everything. The colony wasn't happy about my new obsession. Commander Vega summoned me one morning. You've been tampered with the core regulators, she said, and your logs show unauthorized exploration. I found something. I told her. Someone. She laughed coldly. Hallucinations. This planet's radiation messes with your mind. Don't make me send you back to orbit. She's real, I insisted. Lyra, she's part of this planet. We're killing her. Vega slammed her hand on the desk. This planet is ours now. Whatever ghosts it has, burn them. That night, I made my decision. I would save Lyra or die trying. Climax. The heart of the planet. Lyra told me there was a core beneath the southern ridge, a living nexus where her consciousness was anchored. The colonists had planned to drill there for fusion minerals in 2 days. If they did, they'd shatter her completely. I snuck into the power station and reprogrammed one of the mining drones. It would burrow into the core first, but instead of extracting material, it would inject a stabilizing plasma pulse to preserve Lyra's link. The problem? I had to guide it manually from the surface. And if Vega's patrol caught me, I'd be court-martialed or worse. At dawn, the wind screamed. I launched the drone. Lyra appeared beside me, her form barely stable. Why are you doing this? Because you don't deserve to die for our mistakes. She reached toward me, her touch cold as starlight. You'll be destroyed. Maybe, I said, but maybe that's the price of beauty. Her eyes widened. You finally understand. The drone drilled deep into the crust, sending tremors across the plane. Energy readings spiked. Alarms blared from the colony. Commander Vega's voice roared over the comm. Reyes, what the hell are you doing? Finishing what humanity started. I shouted back. The ground split open. Geysers of blue light shot into the sky. The planet's heart awakening. I could feel Lyra's presence expanding, merging with the energy stream. But the overload was too much. The stabilizer was shorting out. Lyra's voice echoed in my mind. You can't hold it. Let go. Not yet. I gritted. You deserve to live. She appeared in front of me, kneeling beside me as my console sparked. Her form flickered, half energy, half memory. You gave me back my name, she said. Now give me yours. Elias. I whispered. She smiled faintly. Elias, you are the first human to see me. Not as a tool, not as a monster. Energy swirled around us, lifting the sand like a storm. Her hand cupped my cheek again, the same place she had slapped me weeks ago. Do you still think I'm beautiful? She asked. I met her eyes. Now I know what beauty really means. Then she kissed my forehead, and the world went white. Ending. The new dawn. I woke up in the medical bay 3 days later. Commander Vega stood beside my bed, pale and furious. You nearly killed us all, Reyes, she said. The core went into meltdown, but then stabilized. Somehow, the planet's energy redirected itself. We can't explain it. I sat up weakly. Lyra did. She frowned. There's no record of anyone by that name. Of course not. She'd erased herself from every system, every memory, except mine. When I was cleared to return to the surface, I went back to Zone 4. The air felt different, cleaner. The soil pulsed faintly beneath my boots. New crystals were sprouting across the dunes, like veins of light. And there on the horizon, I saw her. Not as a ghost, not as energy, but as a woman of flesh and blood, standing barefoot on the sand. Lyra, I breathed. She smiled gently. The planet lives. I live. You gave me form again. I stared, speechless. But how? When you risked everything for me, our consciousness is linked, she said. Your essence anchored me back into reality. I borrowed a fragment of your humanity to become whole. I stepped closer, hesitant. So, what happens now? She looked up at the twin moons. Now, I watch over this world again, but this time, not alone. I reached out my hand. She took it. The wind whispered through the glowing dunes, carrying the scent of rebirth. Elias, she said softly. When you called me beautiful before, I thought it meant possession. Now I know it meant recognition. I smiled faintly. And when you slapped me, I probably deserved it. She laughed, a sound like music across the desert. We stood there for a long time, watching the horizon turn gold. The planet was changing, breathing again. Life would return, not through machines, but through balance. Lyra turned to me. Will your people ever understand what you did? I shook my head. They don't need to. It's enough that you do. She nodded. Then let this world remember us. As the sun rose, the first green shimmer appeared on the horizon. Tiny mosses blooming across the dunes. Epsilon 9 was alive again, and as I stood beside her, the one slapped cheek that had burned with humiliation now felt warm with something else. Peace. Maybe that's what love was, in the end, not conquering beauty but protecting it.